Hello, mates. How are you today? I want to talk to you about. Hello. Someone wants to say hi. Just say hi to. She's called Shisa. I will write the name perhaps in the description. Okay. Okay. Wait. Well, what I want to talk to you about today is about translation and how to use it in your favor. About translating some things in your target language, or perhaps to your native language or the language that you are comfortable with. And I heard before, like, some people have told me, like, it's not good to have it's not good to be translating everything into your native language, right? So for instance, when I was learning English, a lot of people told me that I shouldn't translate into Spanish. And well, at first I thought, okay, that's a good idea, and I tried to do it, but then I found myself not understanding completely some words. Okay, so sometimes I had a certain phrase, and there was one word that I didn't know what it meant, and I looked it up in the dictionary, and just finding myself even more confused because I didn't actually understand what the word was. Okay, and I asked some teachers also, and they tried to explain to me in English, and I was like, okay, I still don't get it. And then I was like, okay, I give up, and I just want to go and translate the word. And I used Google Translator, and I was like, oh, so that's what it means. And so, well, with my experience with languages, is that actually translating is a very, very, very powerful tool that you can use in your favor. Okay, and you just have to be very careful. Okay, and I have certain rules to translate things, and okay, so the first one is, do not translate full phrases. Okay. Well, okay, phrases it's okay, but be careful with what it comes with. Okay. Be careful with the translation of phrases. What I mean by this is, do not translate long text. Okay. That's what I want to say. Do not translate long text, because it will just confuse you a lot. Because okay, I found that the best translator is Google Translate. Okay, so I found that it's not the best because it's actually really good, but I mean it's convenient, it's useful, and you can actually download the packages of the languages. So for instance, if you don't want to spend your mobile data, then perhaps you can download the packages of the languages that you are learning. Okay, and the second translator, and the one that I'm using at the moment, it's called iTranslate. Okay, it's this one right here. Okay. Yep. And the one with the blue icon. Okay. So I found it to be actually very useful. Okay. And okay. So the first rule is, do not translate long texts. Okay. Phrases it's okay, but just be really careful with phrases, because you may find like slang, for instance, and then the translator will not translate exactly what it says. Okay, for instance, in Italian there's a phrase that's in bocca al lupo. Okay, which means it literally means in the mouth of the wolf. Okay, and you're like, what the fuck? What does it mean? And then it gets even worse, because you should reply crepi al lupo, or it's just crepi, I think. I'm not entirely sure, but I believe that's the phrase. So the response to that phrase, it's death to the death to the wolf, and you're like, what? What does it mean? Okay, so that phrase has like a full background story, but I will not tell you. Just in a summary, in a nutshell, it means good luck. Okay. So perhaps some translators will not translate exactly the good luck thing. Okay, and for instance, if you want to translate from English to Italian, you type good luck, then it will translate as buona fortuna, which is not what Italians will say in case they want to wish good luck to someone. Okay, so just be very careful with that. And wait, my cat's doing something she shouldn't do. Okay. And okay, so the first and now the second rule, it's translate word by word. Okay, I know this is sometimes not the best thing, but it gives you like a perspective. Okay, so in case of fixed phrases, you can have some troubles with it, but I mean, you should learn fixed phrases for God's sakes. I mean, if you are reading a book, and there's one word that you do not understand, okay, you can go ahead and translate that word. But if there's like a phrase you don't understand, I would recommend you to translate word by word, and that's what's been useful to me. Okay, so that way you can understand every word, because sometimes words change. Okay, and you will understand like what it actually means, and then if you still don't get what the phrase is it's trying to explain, it's trying to, if you don't understand the phrase's point, okay, yeah, so you can translate the full phrase and see if you can understand it. Okay, so because I've come across a lot of phrases that will mean something word by word, and then and then the phrase is something completely different. And one example of it is phrasal verbs in English. Okay, so just be very careful with that. And yeah, so basically my two rules are: do not translate long texts, and only translate word by word when it's possible. Okay, even perhaps only phrases, but that's like last resource. Now, the other the other reason that why translating is actually a very powerful tool, it's because you can get the pronunciation of the word. Okay, so for instance, Google Translator will Google Translate, I think that's in English, right? Because in Spanish is traductor and in English is translate. Okay, this app will give you the option to listen to the pronunciation of the word, and this is also very useful. Okay, so perhaps the pronunciation will change in some like in some accents, or perhaps in some situations the pronunciation could change. However, you can have like an understanding of how you should pronounce some words. Okay, then okay, I will talk about pronunciation in a completely different video. I want to make this as short as possible, but yeah, in a nutshell, I do agree that translation is not the best resource. Okay, if you are learning a language, you should try to think only in the language. Okay, for instance, if you're trying to learn English and your native language is Spanish, then yes, you should try to rely on English. Okay, however, if you need it, you can translate, and that's perfectly fine. Okay, that's totally cool if you want to translate. And yeah, because I also find myself wanting to know the word in my language. Okay, so for instance, if I come across the word cat, I will just say cat. Okay, then I'm like, okay, what does it mean in Spanish? Because I will want to translate from sometimes. Okay, for instance, if I'm translating the lyrics of a song to a friend, or if I don't know, translating for any reason. Okay, let's say I'm writing a blog post and I want to translate from English to Spanish and vice versa, and so it's very useful to know the word in your own language. So for instance, cat, I come across this word and I don't know what it means, then I would just translate and say, okay, so it means gato in Spanish, and now I know, now I have my mental picture of it. Okay, and so now I know what cat means in English and in Spanish. So now if I come across a sentence with the word cat, will be and then I have to translate it, I will be like, okay, I know it's gato. Okay, so yeah, that's why translation is actually very useful, in my opinion. I mean, yes, of course you should know the word itself in the language, but if you do need it, do not hesitate to translate. And yes, that's all that I wanted to say for now. Thank you all for watching, and happy learning. Oh no, wait. Okay, no, okay, that's all I wanted to say for this video. And if you have any questions or any comments, please write them in the comment section below. And yeah, also you can send me a tweet or perhaps an email. I don't have a Facebook page right now at the moment, but perhaps if you are watching this in the future, say in 2 years, perhaps there will be a Facebook page. I don't know. You can also upload questions to my Facebook page if there's already one. If not, you can send it to my Twitter or to my email account, or just leave a comment below. Okay, I think that's the best option. If you want to get more yeah, more of these videos, please subscribe. Click on the subscribe button, and yes, I will let you know as soon as I upload new material for you guys. And thank you so much for watching, and have a happy learning.